Thanks so much for being here, and welcome to this intro video. I thought this was going to be my first video, but I'm actually finishing my first month of what I would consider pre-prep before getting into my actual prep weeks. So it's June 2nd and I am 2 days into my actual prep. So I have 14 weeks to prep, and this past month I got a chance to do what I see now as a pre-prep. I initially planned for it to be my prep starting in May, but that was not the case. Just gonna take a moment to light this beautiful candle that I got. And this candle I'm lighting is for the goddess Oshun. And it also represents that third chakra, which is the chakra of power, the fire chakra. And it's just a beautiful color and a beautiful energy and vibration to work with. So I'm bringing Oshun, who is the love, the light, the sweet waters, the feminine principle, into the space and giving thanks. And I'm also inviting that yellow summer energy. I am really feeling these summer vibes, y'all. I'm really feeling it. So giving thanks for the summertime, y'all. Giving thanks for the warmth. I feel a little bit tender and open and vulnerable in this moment in sharing some of this, because these are things that I usually don't share, certainly not publicly. But I think that if there's someone out there that's thinking about a fitness journey and they are coming from some of the similar places that I've been, and some of them that I've transformed from, and other ones that I'm still in the process of healing through, then I want this to speak to you, and I want this to be something that creates an opening for you to go towards your best experiences when it comes to your fitness goals, when it comes to your health and wellness, just self-care overall, self-love, and affirming that for yourself despite all the challenges that come, because there will always be a challenge. There will always be a challenge that comes, and oftentimes it's that internal challenge, right? It's always that one, because that's the only challenge we really, have to face when it comes to moving through our own personal peace. And that doesn't mean, for all my folks, y'all know, I'm very political and grounded in self-determination. So that's not to say that we're living in a utopia by any stretch of the imagination, but that we have so much more power over our reality than anything external. So my sage has pretty much gone out. I like to wait until it goes out and just kind of hold it, but yeah. All right, so here we go. Here's why I started my bikini contest prep journey. Here in Oakland, California, in the Bay Area, and in this moment, right? June 2nd, 2021. So for a long time, I didn't claim a certain part of myself. I didn't necessarily think about myself in that way, under this title, but also because since high school, the resonance of this reality for me just didn't present itself in the same way that it did when I was in high school, middle school, elementary school, just as a child even. So, and that is that ever since I can remember, I've been a very active and athletic person. And since high school, not recognizing that part of my health was tied to a type of like activity or athleticism in a particular way, I sort of fell off a lot of exercise regimens and dietary regimens because it didn't seem realistic. It wasn't fun. And it would just kind of pick up every year and fall off for years. Ever since, let's say, high school till about maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, it would just be this on and off thing. Or I would deal with injury. And that's like a whole nother video because I'm really tender about that topic. Coming from having some gym-related injuries and car accident-related injuries that we could talk about. Let me know if you guys have overcome injuries and if you want to talk about that. This is all to say that once I accepted I'm actually an athlete, I actually thrive through competition and having some type of end goal in mind. So adulthood, I played basketball, I played volleyball, I was a dancer, West African dance, hip hop dance. Thank you so much for West African dance. But after that, I still danced. I still enjoyed dancing all the way to now. Like, I never stopped loving dance. But I didn't pursue professional dancing. I didn't pursue regularly dancing. I've joined praise dance groups when I was praise dancing and hip hop dance crews and classes. But, the athleticism of it, or the presentation of it, the performance, the on-stage aspect, it doesn't quite go there when you take these classes. And going to the gym, the same thing. I worked at the YMCA in Jamaica, Queens, so I got to work out there for free. I joined other gyms and I would just go and fall off and go and fall off, or, get a little bit hurt and feel like, oh, well, my knee started hurting. And it was just all these like really weird things that happened to me. And it discouraged me and my body changed. And I would, I had weight places that I never did. I lost a lot of muscle mass in places that I was really disappointed about. And it kind of left me feeling this strange way about my body. And that was new for me. And so I'd say it was, the results of not practicing a healthy diet don't really catch up to you until a certain time. It's different for everyone. But at a certain point, not having your diet dialed in on whatever side of the spectrum will catch up. The exercise piece, I always stayed somewhat active. My diet didn't get way crazy at any point, but crazy in a sense of very little protein and so much carbs and sugar and processed soy and processed pea protein and things like that. And trust me, on this channel, there's so many videos that you can check out and so many videos that I will be doing around plant-based diet and veganism, which is the diet that I'm going to be on while I do all of this, which was another pain point and frustration. Like, it was just so many things that felt like they were not working out. Maybe I'm not getting enough protein, or I'm drinking so many protein shakes and I'm getting tired of it. It's not sustainable. Or these injuries. That's been the big piece for like the last 3 or so years, are some of the injuries that have made, my activity limited and made me feel like maybe I'll never be able to achieve, the level of fitness that I hope to in adulthood. So that all to say, I started really accepting like, oh, I love to dance. I love working out. I like to run. I'm a fit girl, like, okay, I'm athletic. Like, I don't do anything professionally, but like, wow, I did volleyball. I would love to do tennis and I would love to do salsa dance. I love dancing. I would love to get back into that. So accepting that in myself, it was like, what's something that's going to take me so far out of my box, out of my bubble, that I can pursue and not put too much pressure on myself, because it's new for me. And also something that felt good and felt sexy and felt, just different, So I don't know if I was just watching a few videos on YouTube, which, it's a rabbit hole. So I could have been watching that and it went to something else and something else. And I just started watching bikini contests, prep videos, and seeing other people do these vlogs and being like, oh, wow, that would be so cool. And not only is the vlog something that I think is powerful to share, particularly for Black women and femmes and folks who maybe don't think about themselves as athletic girls, whoever, that to inspire them and tell that story, but then also to document my process so I can see my own growth. That's something that I struggle with. So doing these videos was like a part of the discipline. So it felt like all of these things were aligning around doing a bikini contest. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. And then the perfect coach was within my grasp, within my reach. So shout outs to my last personal trainer that worked with me from July of 2020 through February of 2021. And a lot of different things happened and a lot of changes in my life happened to the point where I couldn't be consistent with her. She's a virtual trainer, and so we trained a few days, first it was 5 days, then it was 4 days a week, and we were on it. And I'm so grateful of being active during the pandemic when so many people went the other way. And that put me in a good position to where a trainer that I could not afford a few years back when I really wanted to work with him, now that I had the vision in mind and the goal, and he was also happened to be a massage therapist and had worked with me and helped me through a lot of injuries and a lot of pain, I was like, hey, I want to do this bikini contest. Will you work with me? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. And so I'm like, cool. Much more expensive than what I was paying for a virtual trainer, but incomparable as far as what I have been able to get out of it. And it came together, so the coach, the moment, and is it ideal for me right now? I'm going through pretty much one of the hardest moments of my life right now. But when I decided to do the contest, I had decided before that moment came. So when that moment came, and it's sort of now I'm in it, I had this thought of what I needed in that moment. And what I needed was to be at my best. And so doing this contest for me was me moving towards seeing reality a little differently, moving towards a passion, and doing it not in the best, most ideal, everything is, great. So I knew that if I didn't give myself this moment, that I would go the other way into depression and anxiety and all of these other sort of mental health and physical health ailments that, many people would say they would completely understand based on what I'm experiencing and what I'm going through. But I decided to rewrite that and to rewrite this moment as a moment for me to be triumphant, as a moment for me to level up and achieve something that I've wanted for so long. And so for me, the goals in this are just these 3 goals, right? So one is to actually get on that stage. I would feel so hard for that. Like, get on stage, take the picture, show my future kids, hey y'all, even if I never do another contest again, I did this one. In 2021, your mom competed in a bikini contest. Here's the proof. Here's the proof. Give me my props. And then 2, to get in the best shape of my life in this moment. And to inspire those around me that are going through this thing with me, that it's possible to rewrite this moment and to make it about growth, transformation, healing. And I'm very, very committed, and I'm very, very excited about this journey. Gratitude is just the word that continues to come to mind. And then my 3rd goal is discipline. The amount of discipline that it has taken just to be in pre-prep, and now entering into prep and seeing more of a picture of what it will take for my body, you know, to get at its most ideal state in 3.5 months. It's a level of intensity I haven't experienced. Even in childhood, even as preparing for, tournaments, the type of training that we did there was intense, but this is on a whole nother level. The discipline that I'm thinking about is that physical discipline for the body, the mental discipline for the mind, the mental discipline that in the beauty of the summer, as people are out having fun, enjoying themselves. And my whole thing now is just not eating fast food. So I'm in the Bay Area. Oh my goodness, the food. The vegan food in California. Mwah. Oh my goodness. So that discipline to not just eat indiscriminately an amount of food, or even just particular foods, you know, the food budget is going to get real tight real soon. So I'm still squeezing in a couple things, but I know that I'm going to gain a different level of discipline when it comes to my emotional, my mental, my physical, spiritual. So I did this. I open the space with my sage. I open the space with my candle to bring in that energy that I need to push through. So that's what I need. Other folks might need something else, but I know that I'm powerful, but with my ancestors, with my protections, I get stronger. I can tap into places that my physical is more prohibitive. So that spiritual discipline, celebrating that is also a grounding part for all of this. And then that financial discipline, y'all. Ooh wee. So, this is expensive. This is a gift to myself. This is a real gift to myself. This is a gift to yourself. If you choose to go on this journey, it's a big gift. It's an investment. And I could have taken this investment and paid for certain, body work to happen. And I'm not saying that I will never consider doing that, or I have considered doing it, but I'm not going to say I'll never consider it again. But at this moment, it felt like, again, as an athlete, I needed to prove it to myself. I needed to prove that I had the discipline and the focus, because that is something that is intrinsic in me. And if that's something that's in you, if you love play, super soakers, Nerf, play fighting, karate, you know, running around, having fun, the jungle gym, soccer, sports, you know, play wrestling, all of that. If you were a playful kid, playful girl, and a playful adult, I highly recommend you keep that energy going, because it's fuel. This goes back to that third chakra, this, you know, this yellow solar plexus energy, y'all, that ego, that fire, showing up, showing out. And for me also, Leo rising, being on stage, I needed to move into this space to elevate my life, to elevate my body, and to celebrate myself. And I'm really juiced. So my next video, y'all, in just a second, is going to be on all the supplements that I'm taking. But thank you so much for staying with me as I share this really beautiful and intimate and tender part of myself. And I look forward to seeing y'all on the next video. Peace.